Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday. Can you believe it's December 3rd already?
I cannot.
Holy cow. Today is National Roof Over Your Head Day.
That's a good day to celebrate.
It is absolutely a good day. And I'm also going to have a Dear John letter today, and I'm going to give you the day off both.
Oh,
because I have
nice.
an expert helping me. Got an awesome letter here from a young lady that her younger brother is getting out of prison, and she's concerned that he's going to end up going back to prison if he's not careful. So I called in the big guns, Heidi. I've got Juan Martinez joining me. He's a pastor, but he started out making some bad choices in his life, and now he tells that tale in a new book called Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, Unlocking the Promises of God. And I'm super excited to visit with him because we might be able to help save a family here. So
very cool.
At least this young man in the family. So instead of goofing around and having fun with our Dear John letter today, it's going to be kind of a serious one. But you know what? I think it's going to be good, and it might help others as well.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I have just one that I'm going to share today, but it's a kind of a longer story here. It says, finally, a survey confirms what women have suspected all along. Dudes only buy new underbritches when they're searching for a mate. A British retail chain conducted a survey. They found that male shoppers do not buy their own underwear until they reach the ripe old age of 19. Who keeps them in fresh breeches before then? Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it says teen girls begin buying their own undergarments when they're 13, but boys not until they're 19. And a lot of the time, they'll end up going on a buying binge, and they'll buy 31 pairs.
31?
Yeah.
Where did they come up with that number?
That's just the number for the next 4 years of their life. And then they don't buy them
over
for a
the
long
next
time.
4 years of their life.
It says...
not 31 pairs. Like, I'm going to the store, I'm buying 31 pairs today.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And then when they turn 23, they taper off. They don't buy underwear for the next decade. And then the only time they do after that is when...
If there's holes in them.
No, even then we're fine. When we're searching for a mate. Otherwise, it's...
Otherwise, they're bought for you.
Yeah, they're purchased for us by our the women in our lives, like my beautiful bride. You know how long it's been since I've purchased my own underwear?
You don't. I buy them for you on a regular
basis.
basis.
She's my wife, by the way.
The last time I bought them, you're like, I don't need any more underwear. Quit buying me underwear. And I look in your drawer, and 3/4 of them had holes through them.
What is this? I'm like, that's
fine. Throw away the old ones.
Just finally getting comfy. That's probably more than anybody really needed to know. Thank you all for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Deputies arrested a Florida woman in a Motel 6 on charges of drug possession and counterfeiting U.S. currency. Hernando County Sheriff's Office there say that deputies were investigating a report of somebody stealing money and having a firearm in a motel. Part of the investigation, deputies spoke with Chastity Hatch. She allowed deputies to search her room. She admitted to creating some counterfeit money prior to their arrival. That's never good. And told deputies some of the money was under the bed. They found it in plain sight, several glass pipes commonly used to smoke crystal meth, and many clear baggies frequently used to store crystal meth. Deputies charge her with possession and forgery of counterfeit bills, instruments to forge bills, and possession of drug paraphernalia. So she had a lot of stuff going on there. But at least she was forthcoming and didn't lie about it, So you got that going for you, Chastity. But maybe don't do the rest of that stuff. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Al Roker returned to the Today Show after undergoing surgery for prostate cancer. So he's back now. I think that's been maybe a week ago that he came back. Kim Kardashian tweeted her congratulations to Khloe Kardashian's baby daddy, Tristan Thompson, after he signed a free agent deal with the Boston Celtics. Did you follow all of that?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I wasn't following it ahead of time, no.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that we all, because I'm... Kim
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
Khloe
Congratulations, you're with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Yay.
So there's a lot going on. I don't really keep up with the Kardashians.
I don't keep
See
up
what I
with
did there?
sports.
That was the name of their show. Keeping up with it.
Thank you.
All right, I was pretty proud of myself for coming up with that. Clearly, for no reason. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of TimeForRehab.com. J&D Foods. They're the makers of bacon salt, which I'd never heard of before, but now I kind of feel like I need some. They have the perfect holiday gift, according to them, for the bacon lover in your family.
Yeah.
Bacon-scented underwear. What?
Ew.
This is the second underwear story we've had today, by the way. So I don't know where these stories are
No,
coming
that's
from.
nasty.
The company's press release says they feature state-of-the-art moisture-wicking scent emission technology stolen from NASA. Says we've embedded the smell of everyone's favorite smell into the fabric of your pants. This intoxicating scent will last through multiple wash cycles and wearings. You can apparently get bacon-scented underwear in men's and in women's. So I know what I'm getting, Heidi, for Christmas.
I have a hard enough time with big dogs sniffing around down there. I
Would
can't
you
imagine if it smelled like bacon.
That I never even thought of that. Dogs, yeah, getting mauled. What's going on? He's wearing bacon underwear. Kind of had that coming, didn't he? According to research, men think they're doing their equal stake of work at home, even though they're not. Pew Research found a significant gender gap in how mothers and fathers describe their household's distribution of labor. Half of mothers in a survey said they did more than their husbands when it came to household chores, while 32% of fathers claimed the same. Meanwhile, 56% of fathers said the household work was split equally, while only 46% of mothers agreed. The reason for the disconnect? It says men's chore goggles. Essentially, men may be getting better at doing their equal share of physical activities like cooking, washing the dishes, and whatnot. Moms are still picking up the slack when it comes to those less tangible tasks like managing the kids' schedule, keeping tabs on, when things need to be replaced. Oh, hey, by the way, we need some more things. I'll explain.
Okay.
So, hey, I pay attention now at least. But anyway, it says like when you're running low on milk and toilet paper and that kind of stuff. So,
speaking of which, did you ever check that furnace filter that I told you?
Hey, I completely forgot about it again. So now it's going to be an emergency one of these days, and I'll be running to the store. We're married, by the way. For those of you that I think I mentioned that one other time in the program when I was talking about buying you bacon-scented underwear, but I just want to make sure folks know that. And one last story to get here. We know tea is good for us, but how good is it? Or how much tea is good for you? They say 3 to 5 cups of tea per day is the sweet spot. This is according to Dutch guidelines. The Health Council there of the Netherlands say tea reduces blood pressure, along with a reduction in having diabetes and stroke risks. Green and black teas are recommended, with herbal teas not showing the same benefits. So they're saying if you have green teas and black teas, those are the best teas. So how about like peach tea?
I don't think that counts
Raspberry
because
tea?
there's sweeteners.
No? Okay. Well, I tried. This is today's Scoop of the Day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, But I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for
Dear John Letters.
And our Dear John letter is going to be a little different today. I've got a guest joining me, and the reason we've got a guest joining us, the Dear John letter today happens to be about a kind of a deep topic, and it's a topic our guest knows quite a bit about. We've got Juan Martinez joining us, and when Juan was 14, he was a drug dealer. When he was in his 20s, he got to go to prison for a bit, and then he's turned his life around, and he's become a pastor, and he's the author of a new book out. It's called Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, Unlocking the Promises of God. And I thought this would be the perfect person to talk to about today's Dear John letter. So thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us, sir. And also thank you for writing this book to hopefully help other people who have gone through some of the tough things that you've gone through. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, because on your path through life, you kind of took a wrong turn, but then thankfully you turned things around and you got this giant monkey off your back.
You know, if you ever watched The Wizard of Oz, she wanted to go somewhere to run away from her problems, but she winded up somewhere where she would have to face those problems on a road or a journey that she has to start in the beginning, God's original plan. And that's kind of what happened to me. Like I said, 10 years, and all of a sudden now I'm a pastor. That's incredible. I get to reproduce fruit of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. I grew up in a home where my mom had plastic fruit. It was of no nutritional value. You know, I used to chew on the grapes, but it did nothing. And then when I got married, my wife, she had a real fruit, and it was edible and nutritional and actually filling. And so that's kind of what happened in my life.
So now we're going to talk about your book here in a moment, Juan, but would you help me with the Dear John letter?
Absolutely.
All right, I've got the question for you right here. I'll read the whole thing to you, and then I'll give you a chance to respond. So, Dear John, my younger brother fell in with the wrong crowd. He got involved in a gang and went to jail for drugs. He's about to be released right before Christmas. We're so excited to have him home. I'm afraid he may end up falling right back into the same lifestyle. Any advice on how I may be able to help him avoid that? It could be the very best Christmas gift ever for our whole family if he can turn his life around. Any ideas? Signed, Big Sister.
I believe she needs to find somebody who literally came out of what he's doing and then kind of put him around. You know, I don't knock it. Never really went to NA or AA. I don't knock it. I know that people do that. They have to do that. But I started going to a Bible study. And in that Bible study, I started identifying with some people. And then I was at a church where there was a bunch of guys who were just like me. They started crushing some of my false beliefs. They would ask me questions. What I would do when he comes out is I would literally take that moment where he's sober-minded and I would ask him questions. We do that to people all day long. He'll come out and you'll start just telling him what he needs to do, and you'll just start harping on him and he'll start hyperventilating, you know, because he'll be like, oh my God, I have to do all this stuff. Remember, he's never done it. But I thought it was interesting how Jesus asked the blind man, what does he need? I feel like if Jesus would have healed him, he still would have acted blind because he wouldn't have recognized that he was blind. So Jesus asked him a question because self-discovery is what brings about change. Maybe ask some questions that say, hey, that'll make him think, you know, hey, you don't want to get locked up again, right? That was horrible. And he's going to start answering questions. No, that's the last place I want to go to. Man, okay, what are some of the things that you think you need help with? And he's going to start saying certain things. Then you start giving him, because once the guy says, I want my sight, you know, you can help that guy. You can say, oh, okay, you want sight. So let's go get your eyes checked. Let's go get this, rather than just dumping a bunch of stuff and then having him freak out. Because remember, it's never really about the addiction. The addiction and all those things in the gangs, that's where people go to for comfort. It's kind of like the anesthesia of the problem. We got to really look at the problem and introduce them to a new way of anesthesia, which for me was Jesus Christ. He's the one who gives me peace. He's the one who helps me through my days. A lot of times, you know, people run back. He's going to try to run back to comfort when he begins to get trouble. So you have to kind of identify some things, ask some questions so that he can internally process and say to himself, man, you know what? And then put some boundaries. Hey, how do you not wind up back in jail? How do you think? And he's going to give you some answers. You're going to say, well, let me help you out. Or let me introduce you to somebody who came out of jail or prison. He can write me. I have an office number. He can call me out here, and I can talk to him when he gets out. And I can probably even send him a book.
Well, and that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. And thanks for the time today. Where can we find the book?
On Amazon, or you can go to juanmartinez.tv.
Thank you again for your time today, and thanks for your answer in our Dear John letter.
Thank you so much, John. You guys are amazing.
Again, our guest today is Juan Martinez. The book is Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, Unlocking the Promises of God. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today, and I've also got it with the Dear John letter where you can chime in with your advice. You can find all of that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There's a myth that the average person gains up to 7 pounds over the holidays, but you know what? It's just a myth. Here's the fun fact. It's really like 1 or 2 pounds. So some of us are doing more than our fair share. You know what? This year I'm going to lose weight over the holidays.
Me too.
I've buckled down on my diet, and if anybody sees me eating something I'm not supposed to, smack it out of my hand.
Smack it.
And then smack me a few times and say, hey, I'm doing this because you told me to.
There
I
you
need
go.
that help. I have no willpower, so I need to just hire somebody named Will to follow me around and overpower me when I'm trying to eat things. Maybe that'll work. This is today's fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, Japan. A guy in Japan has lost his job after managers found his desk stuffed with containers of other people's lunch. For months, employees have complained about their lunch containers going missing. And somebody finally installed a hidden camera in the break room to figure out what in the world is happening. Managers saw the lunch thief taking somebody's lunches in the video, and they go through his desk. They found 17 stolen lunches.
Gosh.
And some of them had actually gone bad. He didn't even eat them.
Oh my gosh. That
Very
is
bizarre.
so
It
weird.
really is. I think I've read this story before. This seems
That
vaguely
is
familiar.
so bizarre.
It's very bizarre. It is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Employees in Minnesota Library find an unusual item in the return bin. An 8mm film that was 40 years overdue.
Really?
Yeah, Dan Buckinga, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's an employee in Duluth at the public library. He was emptying a return bin when he thought he saw a CD audiobook. But then he got to looking at it closer. He's like, wait a minute, that's not a CD. That's an 8mm movie on a reel.
What was
He said,
on it?
I'd never seen one before. He told the Duluth News Tribune the film reel, a copy of the classic silent film A Trip to the Moon, was accompanied by a Post-it note that said, sorry, check this out when I was 14 and we moved.
Oh.
It was 40 years overdue, but better
Wow.
late than never. Another library worker said the library no longer even has the means to test whether this film is even watchable, as the old projection room was long ago transformed into a set of bathrooms. They said the film will likely find a new home, and he said probably in his personal museum on his desk. So that's actually pretty cool.
That is pretty
It's cool that they actually returned it. So now you know. That is today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. A bride in England shared a moment, kind of a horrifying moment, when her groom ruined the wedding when he kicked her in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, TikTok user God Squad, G-A-U-D Squad, shared a shocking video taken on her big day. In the clip, her new husband performs a shirtless lap dance, and as he sits on the chair on the dance floor, he lifted his leg in a high kick move,
Right.
but he kicked his bride right in the head.
Oh my gosh.
Her face says it all. Captioning her video, she wrote, "How My Husband Ruined Our Wedding, Part 1. The video has since gone viral. A lot of likes on TikTok, although a friend of ours calls it Tic Tac. No, it's TikTok. Viewers leaving all kinds of shocking comments and saying how shocked they were. The bride was quickly to reassure her followers, despite the injury, the wedding was not a total disaster. She explained, "I cried for a bit and I felt insanely bad, but it was fine because we ended up partying until 8 a.m. the next day with our best friends." So
Okay.
there you go.
That's
so,
nice.
all said and done, things kind of worked out. But either way, it is your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is this fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Florida man arrested for calling 911 and claiming his wife was a black widow spider. Fake news or Florida?
I'll say Florida.
And it is a true story. That really truly happened in the great state of Florida. So yes, that is a Florida story for sure. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It's actually kind of a fun story. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. And I got to say, some people are coming up with clever ways to, make things work in 2020. And take a listen to this headline. This restaurant is using a Ferris wheel to allow diners to eat while socially distanced. I never would have thought of that. But a restaurant in Hungary has reinvented the wheel, you might say, when it comes to social distancing. Michelin-starred Hungarian restaurant, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Kostész, I'm probably saying all this stuff wrong. They've seen business decrease dramatically after tourism practically vanished in Budapest.
Yeah.
Owner, Carol, we'll just say Carol, I can't read most of this, said that the turnover at the restaurant is down to about a tenth of the pre-lockdown levels, forcing them to find new ways to do business. So they've come up with the Budapest Eye Ferris wheel. They're using that to allow customers to dine in a coronavirus-free safe environment.
Okay.
Or coronavirus-safe environment.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, they say there's not many people on the wheel because they haven't had
so
a bunch
many
of
seats
business.
too.
And there's not been many people in the restaurant because there are no tourists. So the opportunity arose that we could work together to do this. There's a video you can watch, and it's really cool because each one of the cars is spaced, properly.
Right.
So what you do is they give you your meal, you sit on the Ferris wheel, and you go round and round and round.
Yeah, well,
It's kind of an interesting idea.
It's clever.
Never would have thought to do that, but I'm glad they did. I've got a link to the story. It is in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you have not yet had a chance to chime in with your advice for the Dear John letter, you can do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.